Hey guys, Grassman here. Playing more of the No Sunflower Challenge. We're gonna finish pool, and yeah. No, so I don't know if there's much to talk about today. I went and played Minecraft, and I meant to do my survival world, and then I decided, nah, I'm gonna load up a creative world. I'm gonna name a villager. I'm gonna name a Vindicator Johnny. And if you name a Vindicator Johnny, it becomes hostile to all other mobs except other Vindicators, Evokers, and what's the other one? There's no sun in this one, so we're just fine. It becomes hostile to all other mobs except other illagers. I think this is my favorite level. It's probably thunderstorming outside. So I went and messed around with the Johnnies, named a spawn egg Johnny, and then just went and committed the Holocaust against villagers. So yeah, there's that. I love this mode. Wrong one. So it's cool that, like, if a buckethead ends up perfectly in front of a normal villager, the buckethead will die just as fast from fire as the normal one will die of the splash fire. I need more, lily pads. I'm gonna save that. The thunder's really going. Rain's not that bad now. The rain's not that bad, and the, please run that over. You didn't run it over, you fool! I love this level. Just a massacre of zombies. Massacring the zombies. That's the wrong spot, but okay. Don't. Oh, you jerk. You almost killed him. Yo. If I get one more, I can make it perfect. No! How dare you? Now it's not perfect. Don't. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose one thing off perfect, practically. The one torchwood I'm missing. Okay, well. Right, and that's why I was there. Lantern. So. Oh god, this is the unskippable one, eh? Joke's on you, ad. My YouTube audience can skip you. Ah. So I just messed around and started a witch war. Basically, if you spawn so because I named the guy Johnny, I put a bunch of Johnnies down and a ton of witches down, so they all started shooting at each other, but then they all got mad at each other. So, I'm gonna take everything I can afford. What can I afford? I've run out of things I can afford. So that's gonna be useless. So now to organize the attacks, because I have to. I guess that's it. So this is what I'm working with. 2 varieties of plants, 2 types of plants that are free, and 50 sun for whatever else I want. So where's the first guy coming? There. I think we've done most of these levels with the I think in the 2 seed slot challenge we did most of these levels already, right? So for the 2 seed slot, if we couldn't choose, so we had to take so for the 2 seed slot, if we took sunflowers, we'd have no way of defending both, unless we were going to try and use 3-peaters, which would really be a dumb idea. So we had to use puff shrooms, but then we would have no way of defending water. So instead of sunflowers, we had to use, and we wouldn't have sun for lily pads. So we've already done this with only puff shrooms and sea shrooms, I think. I think we had to do most of the night like that. Or fog, I guess. It sounds like a thunder stopped. Or moved, at least. So we might have time for like another 2 levels. think I need a bite? Nope. Do 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 do. So, because I forgot at the beginning, I will throw this in the middle of the video. Remember, guys, if you enjoy my content, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, I will most likely answer it. And let me know what other kinds of games you want to see. If it's on mobile and it's free, I'll most likely play it. Do 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 do. Alright, I think we'll have time for 2 more. I don't care. I still don't care. Do I have sound on? Same things, I guess. Could bring this to sun. Yep. I think the fog's up further this time. I'm gonna use bottom top. No, bottom. Hang on. Okay, one's on the top. I need like something to talk about. I tried beating. I kind of wish Minecraft were like free on mobile. I'd like to try and like, you know, on the mobile we could like, I don't know if we could try speedrun the game because we're on mobile. We could try and like beat the Nether though. Start in the Nether and get out. You know what they need to teach in schools? Game theory. Or like not game theory. Game theory is an actual kind of stuff. In schools they need to teach video game logic. Like how to determine whether it's better to have, like when you're playing a game, is it better to have an attack set or a defense set? You know, because that involves, like, math and stuff. Like, wagering, it's math/logic. Wagering what's better in what scenario in a deck-building game like Magic the Gathering or Plants vs. Zombies Heroes or Legends of Runeterra. What's better? What has synergy with itself? What has synergy with other things? Because if anyone wants to go into, like, what if someone wants to play cards professionally? or play video games professionally like me. You could have a math class where you teach, like, in this scenario, what's better? Counterattack armor or retaliation armor or whatever other armor. What's better to use? Ask, like, what will do more damage per second? 2 short swords or 1 great sword in Skyrim. Really, they need to fix the school system just in general. I was learning about poems today. I don't care about poems. Like, I have a big problem with the school system. Like, I'm in high school. In high school, I should be going into specifics of what I do want to do for a job. Like, what I do want to do for a job. Instead, I'm learning poetry. In primary school, they should teach you the main basics, English and writing and beginnings of math. Easy stuff. The stuff everyone needs to know. Then in middle school, they should teach you some more complicated of those. Maybe something like handwriting, and diversify. Start teaching other things like biology and chemistry. And then after that, in high school, you should be advancing on what you learned in middle school. You should be advancing on the diversification. You should now know I want to do chemistry and biology. For example, I'm gonna grow up and be a YouTuber, but I would still love to learn more about chemistry and biology and math. I love math and I love science. I love chemistry and biology. I hate when they're teaching, like, stupid science, like, blah, 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 toucans, blah, 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 blah. It's like, Jesus, just teach me something useful. But right now I'm being taught about atoms and stuff, and I already kind of know a bit about atoms, but I'm fascinated with that stuff. I love that stuff. I want to learn more about that stuff. But they haven't diversified. I'm in high school. Like, I learned stuff in primary school. Then I went to middle school, and I learned barely anything. In this first month of high school, I've learned more in science class than I did learn in science class of all last year. In this first month. Another thing, I don't know if I'm ever going to be taught how to do taxes. I hear they don't teach you that stuff. And I'm like, you want me to pay taxes, but you don't want to teach me how. I can't do something if you don't teach me how. You say it's essential. Teach me how, then. So, the school systems are kind of broken. There's a lot of things you need to do to fix them. Why can't I put this anywhere? I was like hovering around with one of these guys, and I didn't know where to put him. Pepsi. Excuse me. Yeah, another thing, when I was in grade 5, we were watching my dad play soccer one time, and I was bored, so my mom, or she knew I'd be bored, so my mom printed out some grade 8 math paper, and she gave it to me to do, and it was some, like, line work, like this line, like, what line is longer, what angles are these, and it was really fun. And that was 3 years ahead of where I was at the time. That was supposed to be grade 8 stuff. And there was some algebra in there she printed a page on. And that was all grade 8 stuff. And I did it easily. Then, for the rest of grade 5, and grade 6, and grade 7, I learned absolutely nothing new. It was all the same stuff. Addition, subtraction, long division, and like multiplication, division. We didn't ever learn long division again. We didn't learn how to do it. It was just kind of like, what happens if you multiply two big numbers together? Do it in your head. And that mental math is about as far as we got. That and like graphs and decimals, and it was all the same stuff throughout the whole year for math class. Then in grade 8, we finally learned about the Pythagorean theorem. In grade 8, it finally started changing. We learned about the Pythagorean theorem. And, okay, what do we take? Same stuff again? I'll get back to what I was saying in a moment. And this. Okay. Oh, right, balloons. Okay, we just have to hope we don't get balloons. Ugh. We can revive lawnmowers if we need for the balloon guys. It's fine. So, in grade 8, we finally learned about the Pythagorean theorem. So that was the first new thing. So we like geometry, we kind of started learning that in grade 4 and 5. We just kind of expanded a tiny bit in grade 6 or 7 or 5 or something. So we really didn't learn much new throughout the math class of the whole year, the whole multiple years. In grade 8, after going through all that again, and I don't think we actually did geometry in grade 8. So thank goodness, I didn't need more of that. I already knew how to do it. Like, all my math teachers were great. I loved my math teacher in grade 7, I think it was. Who was my grade 8 math teacher? Yeah. So in grade 8, we finally learned the Pythagorean theorem followed by algebra. But so first off, the line work that, like, my mom had done, we didn't get any of that. The algebra was essentially, like, 2 plus a equals 5. Like, what the hell? I've done this already in grade 2. 2 plus question mark equals 5. The answer is 3. I knew that in grade 2. Why the hell am I learning this now like this? Jesus. What the hell? I learned this in grade 2. What's wrong with you? You're just supplementing question mark with a. Or it'd be like, n times n, m times n equals 3. Or equals 4, I guess. Would have been more advanced than what we got. Because that could be 1 times 3, or that could be 2 times 2. I don't even think we did, like, n times n equals 16. Therefore, n's gotta be 8. We just did, like, the most basic algebra, and it was horrible, and it was awful, and we didn't learn a thing. Like, some people learned, yeah. That's another problem. There's people who are fast learners like me, and there's people who are slow learners. The slow like, it's like trying to bring a donkey-powered cart on a military convoy. Do not leave it behind or bring it with the rest of the donkeys. One donkey power does not keep up with 30 horsepower or more. Stop trying to bring the donkeys with the military convoy. I don't need Brady slowing me down. Not to say Brady's stupid, he just doesn't know it. There's just random people that don't understand sometimes. Brady, this case, this other person, this other case, blah 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 blah, it doesn't matter who. Shouldn't have said names, but... It's just like, random people don't understand here and there. Some people are slower than others. So stop trying to bring donkeys on the military convoy. Like, you have an advanced class, a medium class, and a lower, farther back class. put the donkeys in the further back one, and put the advanced one up at the front. Stop trying to bring donkeys on the convoy. Make 3 different convoys. Your military convoy, your whatever the other convoy, whatever the medium convoy is, and your donkey convoy. And stop putting the donkeys on the fast one. For the kids that take longer learning, just put them in a class of kids that take longer learning, so I'm not getting slowed down. It's insane. So we end up spending 2 or 3 weeks doing graphs, something I already understand very well. I think we did 4 levels. So we end up spending 2 or 3 weeks doing graphs when we don't need to. And then we end up doing that just the same thing. So one problem is that they teach us forever. I only need a few days of graphs at most. I don't need 2 weeks of graphs. Second, I don't need to be taught graphs 10 years in a row. I was taught them in grade 2 through 8. And that's actually, I don't know if I was taught them in grade 8. We can kind of replace that with Pythagorean theorem and algebra. I was taught graphs grades 2 through 7. That's way too much. Make it 2, make it 3, and maybe make a refresher in 6. Or 5. Or make it a few days in 5 and a refresher in 6. I don't need graphs every year. Everything I know about math, and it's so much busy work. I could rant about this for hours. I'm gonna turn the volume off. It's so much busy work. It's like, do this full page of mental math questions, and it's like, why? To practice. And I'm like, to practice effing what? Well, you're not gonna have a calculator in your pockets. Do you know what a phone is? You're not always gonna have a calculator in your pocket. No, I won't. And if I ever need to do 156 times 247 without a calculator, I'm pretty screwed regardless. And even if I do need to, I know how to do that, and I've proven that to you multiple times. Stop giving me this garbage. If I ever don't have a calculator, I will still be able to do it. So stop giving me this random busy work and start actually giving me something. Everything I know about math to this day, I could have learned in, 1 year. I could have learned it all in grade 8. Had I been taught properly. I could have been taught nothing of math up until grade 8, learned everything I know in grade 8, and still be fine right now. It is so dumb, and my god, do they keep smacking poetry into me. I don't need poetry. Or please replace my English unit with biology. At least teach me something useful. Where are the arteries, so if I ever have to stab myself, or someone else, I know where. If I ever want to stab myself and miss by an inch so I can secretly murder my wife, please teach me that instead of this useless poetry garbage. I don't need to know poetry. It's not that hard, and I can tell you this. I'm not good at poetry. I can tell anyone this. I'm not good at poetry. Stop giving it to me. They say you need an English credit. Okay, so I'll just take poetry. So they say you need an English credit to pass. I say, okay, so I'll take poetry and then never use it. So I'm allowed to pass with something I will never use. Therefore, I did not need it. Therefore, I don't need an English credit. So stop making me take one. If you want me to get an English credit, give me a handwriting class. Because you haven't taught me that. Yet all the teachers still write in it. Stop getting the teachers to write in handwriting without teaching us handwriting. I had one book in grade 3 about handwriting, and that was it. Not a single thing since, but my teachers, for some reason, still write in handwriting. It is insane how dumb they are. It is so crazy. I could rant about this forever. There are so many problems with the school system. They are literally teaching us the same stuff they taught back in the 1700s. They are teaching us the same way not the same way, they're using teams and stuff, but they're teaching us the same things, and at the same rate they did back in the 1700s. That's insane. We are not from 300 years ago. It's over 300 years later. Get with the times, please. It's so my god dumb. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. I was in science class today when we were learning what's the difference between a physical and a chemical change. One of the questions was a snowball breaks when it hits someone's face. It took us the entire class to do it. I was done in the first 10 minutes, and I was on my phone playing games for the rest of the time. I have to continue this rant some other time, probably next Plants vs. Zombies, because I could rant about this forever. Forever, until they fix changes. I could rant about this for so long. Come up with so many metaphors and similes, which I know what they are. Thanks a lot, poetry. I will really use those and give a damn in the future. I have to end the video now, but this rant will continue next time, as well as will the game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.